I never imagined that one small, clumsy moment in my own kitchen could become a story I'd carry with me for years. But sometimes, the quietest days hold the loudest memories. It was a warm Thursday afternoon in Maplewood, Ohio, and life was its usual predictable self. My name is Hannah Reed, 31, and for the past 6 years I've shared this cozy suburban life with my husband, Evan. We've been married nearly a decade, comfortable, steady, and familiar. Our days were simple: coffee at sunrise, work at the local library, dinner together at 6, and a quiet walk under the maple trees before bed. But that day, something felt slightly off, like a song just a note out of tune. The air in the kitchen smelled of lemon and rosemary. I was hosting dinner for my friend Tessa, who I hadn't seen in months. Evan had mentioned that his coworker Luke might stop by briefly to borrow some tools from the garage. I didn't think much of it. I'd met Luke a few times before, tall, polite, and always carrying that faint, unreadable smile that made him seem both friendly and mysterious. By late afternoon, I was rushing to make sure everything looked perfect. The tablecloth was ironed, candles set, dishes gleaming in the soft sunlight. I was halfway through arranging the napkins when I realized I'd forgotten the bread rolls in the pantry. With a sigh, I bent down to grab the basket from the bottom shelf, humming an old song under my breath. That's when it happened. The wooden floor creaked behind me, soft, sudden. Before I could straighten up, I sensed someone standing just a few feet away. I turned, startled, and nearly dropped the basket. Luke stood there, holding a screwdriver, his expression caught somewhere between surprise and amusement. "Sorry, Hannah," he said quickly, laughing under his breath. "Didn't mean to sneak up on you." I let out a nervous chuckle. "You scared me half to death." "I didn't hear you come in." He smiled, just a small tilt of the lips that somehow lingered longer than it should have. "Evan said I could grab the tools." "He's out back?" "Yeah, watering the garden," I replied, setting the basket on the counter. "You caught me mid-bread roll crisis." He laughed softly, glancing at the basket. "Those for dinner tonight?" "Trying to impress Tessa," I said. "She's a better cook than me, and the pressure's on." For a brief moment, the kitchen felt warmer, not just from the oven, but from something else neither of us could name. It wasn't inappropriate, not even close. Just a sudden awareness of being seen. A heartbeat of silence that both of us rushed to fill. We talked about recipes, how fast summer was flying by, and how small-town life always felt slower when you needed it to move faster. His voice had that easy calmness, the kind that made ordinary words sound like they meant something more. Then, before I could dwell on it, Evan walked in, drying his hands on a towel. "Here's your screwdriver back," Luke said quickly, smiling at him. "Appreciate the loan." And just like that, the spell was broken. Dinner that evening went perfectly. Tessa arrived laughing, arms full of flowers, and the three of us talked for hours. The house felt alive with chatter and candlelight. Yet every now and then, between bites and stories, my mind flickered back to that brief pantry moment, the unexpected closeness, the awkward laugh, the way his eyes softened just for a second. It wasn't about Luke, not really. It was about something smaller, quieter, the strange electricity of an unscripted moment. How life, no matter how planned, finds ways to surprise you when you least expect it. Over the next few weeks, I started noticing little moments like that everywhere. A stranger holding the door a beat longer. A smile from someone at the grocery store that lingered in my mind. It wasn't attraction, it was connection. That fleeting human recognition that life is more fragile, more beautiful than our routines let us believe. When Evan and I later invited Luke and his wife over for a game night, everything felt normal again. The pantry moment became a funny story, a harmless tale about a startled housewife and a borrowed screwdriver. But deep down, I knew it meant something else. A reminder that even a quiet life can tremble with unexpected meaning, and maybe, just maybe, that's what makes it worth remembering.